Someday. How are you? Wheels. On the spot, it cannot but rejoice. And that's it, of course. I can't walk in the mud by myself. So, a janitor's brush was ordered. Oops. Tricky. The cleverly made delivery, of course, amuses me. It is cunningly made for the reason that there is a double brush type here. Like it should rub somehow. Now let's go drive the car a little on business and so on. Well, let's do a little bit of exterior issues. So let's see what happened here during my absence. The brake is in place. Anatoly seems to be leaving, or I do not know. And if it leaves, it's not so intense. There is oil, it's already black, damn it. We throw the terminal. By tradition, everything is as always. I remind you, I'm throwing off the terminal. The honor is that the alarm system has woken up, and it behaves inappropriately, even trying to squeak. And it's unlikely that anyone will like it in the yard, including me. So, yeah, there's even some kind of clutch. It would be necessary to do his pumping. It's wound up. It's smoked. We'll wave the brush and go. Yes, that's right. It looks worse than last time, of course. Correction about the brush. Visually, it looks like this. There are two here. Two brushes in one. We need to take it. Let's see how it wipes. Does he wipe at all? Something like that. In any case, you need to degrease the glass. That the water doesn't flow. Along the way, everything will freeze. Today it was -2, and there the water is stupidly flooded. Oops. Correction, the water didn't freeze there. Something really sucks. Something is rubbing. Well, China is 150 rubles. It is clear that he will lose. So, the water didn't freeze there, jumped off and picked up the phone. About the fact that I was warming the janitor's leash. It now does not touch the hood when opened, nothing needs to be moved, and the brush presses. This shit is not a brush along the way. Well, anyway, let's go and see, maybe get angry. The engine is very cold, but stoves are not better yet, not better yet. Let's go and see. I don't want to go there honestly, but it's straight. It will be a drama, to be honest, if you need to change the stove. Dramas and internal confrontation. That's it. That's it. Finally arrived and conclusions on the stove. In general, both pipes are hot. Hot enough for the stove to work. If you shake it, if you shake the intake, it gets hot for a moment, then that's it. Then it's cold again. If you go, it's cold stupidly. Well, that is, barely warm. Some kind of contour may be touching there, but not much. Maybe it touches the top again with this plug, where the inlet outlet is. And nothing happens, right? Cold stove. Such a thing. Now we need to do bodywork. Yes, I know it's funny. Especially when everything is made of paper match. But we need to plug this hole. Clean up, cover up the hole and seal it. Here's another joke. Now it has fallen. Okay, I'll show you later. We protect in general, degrease, cover up, paint. Everything is as usual. Just decided to do a similar story, a cloud arrived. So, what do we have? And we have a hole of incredible size. Cleaned up. The masking tape decided to run out too, so I had to do some art. There was no clip here at the time, and because of this it was gouged and turned into nothing. So I found some. I picked up some kind of clip more or less similar. I filled it with glue just in case. Now we'll pick up something here too, and put it on a sealant. As if this is the situation. But the cloud, of course, is my homage. We paint. We paint and forget about it. I understand that this is not a body repair, and does not even smell, but sorry, everything is very bad here. By the way, what I did before, it basically all works and holds. It doesn't even rust, because it's mostly scotch. Here. That's the story. But the whole, of course. We'll cover it up, by the way, with a sealant. The sealant here is already a bodywork. There will be another sealant. But there is no other way out, just so that it doesn't pour into the salon. I explain that it doesn't pour into the salon, we fill in all this, cover up, paint over. So that at least until spring it will be enough. And then we'll watch. Yes, but here. It's all sad, of course. Because, again, there wasn't this clip for some reason. Molding, wherever he was, he just walked around and hammered on the body. From there, he hammered the paint. And the rust went. Well, the whole car is like that, really. I do not know, well, this is it at all. How does it live here? In short, we smear, paint. In general, everything looks like this. The sealant is failing, but it's natural. There's a hole there, it just flows down. And the problem is that there is a joint. The joint of the trunk shelf, wing and all that. There is no way to get there from below, from above, or from the cabin side. That is, it would be possible to glue it with something, but now it's time to disassemble everything. Nobody needs to take everything off. In general, it looks like this. Here he is failing again. In general, it doesn't matter anyway. Now we will fill everything with paint. Everything will be fine. So, come on. Flooded, get fat. Damn, this thing won't get in on the move. Yes, it won't fit anyway. It will be necessary now to pick up from all the abundance that we have here. There's just no such bullshit, but I don't think there's anything that's needed. I didn't calculate something. Well, okay, we can come up with something later. Oops. Then come up with something, if anything. While it will still dry. Although I don't really care, to be honest. You can just OPA. We need to try it on. It's a little greasy, I know, yes. But what would not, when yes? Besides, the paint ran out. The sealant has almost run out. Why not finish everything to the end? Damn, it won't fit. I hadn't thought of that. There should be such a thing here. It should have been, but since the original mount disappeared somewhere. Where is the second one? Okay, we'll figure something out now. It's all kind of dubious. Well, in general, the plan has cracked. Shit happens, as they say. If it falls off, then this part is no longer needed by the car. In general, it is necessary to rub something here. I have completely selected it. The main thing is that it flows internally. If something falls off, we immediately seal up the holes with sealant, and that's it. And let's not worry about it. The speed is not affected by the appearance here. So, underground edition. Here. If I can find a similar part for 3 kopecks, I may find it. But judging by the other trade winds that I have seen, this part is in price, and not that it can be found just like that. Everything is ready. We can go. Such a thing. I would like to sort out the stove. Oh, well. Now we need to clean up the whole thing. Everything looks really bad. Although, no, you can still wash it. Oh, what a mess. We'll have to get out. We continue our bodywork. By the way, about the bodywork. It seems to be alive. It has arrived. Everything is fine. It's windy today, I'm sorry. I managed to knock out the loop. She just got stuck, welded, so to speak. And as if to show. In short, he's hanging out like he's not himself. Now we need to remove the upper part. The locking ring turned into a thin, rotten piece of metal. Therefore, it flew out. It remains only to knock out this story somehow, remove it from here, and put a new loop. I don't understand how yet. It should be collapsible, but it's all bent down. If anything, there is a Bulgarian. The Bulgarian solves this problem for 3 seconds. In 3 seconds. But I would like, of course, without vandal interference. But the campaign will not work, because it is bent. It's all rotted away here. But this is 100% original loop, remnants of an old loop. It can be seen that the output is so good. Spun the whole thing. There is something to try to unscrew, dismember. Just took a grinder and cut through. Here's a new loop. That's what the seller wrote. It's 10 millimeters. The bushing means this. Accordingly, we take a drill bit by 10 millimeters and drill. A little bit carefully, slowly. It should be all plus or minus measured. Well, yes, drill a little bit and put the whole thing in place. I really want to believe that we have this part too. Well, it's from this side. And we have this part too. Yes, it will go fine. We need to spill it there now, clean it, cover everything with solid oil, so that we can be sure. Let the upper loop hang. There too, the lower loop does not feel very well, but I don't drive there, whatever. Let's go drill in general. And at the same time, you need to smear everything, rinse it. This is how this beauty will look like. Everything is great. It didn't take long to drill, because the loop itself is all ready. The metal itself is in the form of an ellipse, because it was all hanging out, and no one was ever going to fix it, from the word at all. So, I didn't have to drill for a long time. And the most interesting thing is that this thing cost me 830 rubles with a delivery. And people apparently grind themselves, adjust somehow to the size. Well, except for this bushing, because it's 10 millimeters. The loop itself on the banchid.ad is the third, that the lower one, that the upper one costs around 2,000 from the disassembly. And what kind of condition will be unknown, so we will restore this whole thing now with a certain collective farming. I think everything will work okay. And of course you will need to add vitamins to all this. So we will anoint, put a loop, and it will be in misfortune, probably. And then we'll do the second part. I never found the key 415. The tool? Of course, the lack of tools is a bit of a problem for me. But that's not the point. I had to make some effort to drive the lower part inside. Everything there has been rusted for a long time. Come on. Wow. That's a thrill. This is a victory. It will make my life easier. Wow. If anything, the door sagged somewhere. Well, up to here, probably. Maybe lower, maybe higher, plus or minus. Oh, that's it. This victory is definitely for sure. Because already, if you remember, from the slamming of incomprehensible doors, due to the fact that everything sagged, the molding fell off and began to mess with the handle. I've had a little too much of it there. I don't know how long she'll live. Here's how you see, because of the fact that I had to raise the VO. That's it, she's kind of really bad. Thanks to the person who makes these parts, and quite affordable prices, and not 2,000 for a bush new loop in unknown condition. As I said earlier, I'll leave a link in the description, in case you need it, because this person, in addition to the third one, has, well, a lot of trade wins, a lot of let's say, self-made loops, apparently. But it's done kind of well and perfectly. In general, the link is in the description. Look. Wow. Now we'll tighten the nut, it's 13. It's easy to guess how I unscrewed the opposite part of the lock. Because I didn't have a key 415. And anyway, who uses the keys 415? What kind of stupidity is this? That's it, unscrew it, screw in a new one. One hand is uncomfortable. But before that, it needs to be wrapped in duct tape. Because, according to reviews, the part cost this one from 40 to 60 rubles, I don't remember. We'll put it in, roll it up in duct tape, because there's plastic here. It cracks on this one from several blows, and we will find a pipe for this one. Maybe I even have it. Rubber and pull it. And we'll pull it on. He's out there somewhere. In general, 800 rubles is the solution to the problem, and minus the torment. This pleases me, of course. Now we're done with this, let's go climb into the DMRV. I'm starting to have thoughts that the tracks have been erased there. At the same time, we'll smear them with vitamins. Yes, vitamins decide. Covered up everything. The bolt needs to be tightened now. Here is this stopper, or as it is correctly called. Although everything is so tight there that it does not scroll simply. In general, I'm glad. Well, people, I can say that this is the best purchase for today. This loop bushing, made my day. You wouldn't think better? Just a buzz. apart from everything else. In general, what's next according to the plan? We climb into the DMRV. And we climb for another reason. First of all, the turnover began to float again. Secondly, while I was rocking the stove, I leaned on the connector and the car stupidly stalled. That's not cool. And you need to clean the throttle. So we throw it off on MRV. Let's see what we have here with the collective farm. You need to set aside a day and write down everything that is not written here. The starter, by the way, turns like shit, because I looked at the service from the bottom there. The power wires are all right there. And that too. They all rotted shorter. So much so. What do we have on antifreeze? The lid is not screwed, something is normal. Not dirty. Damn, well, the stove of course. Now I'm going to try to poke around with it again, but I'm afraid it won't lead to anything. Oh. Well, he's a green pin. We need to rewrite everything. The tracks began to be actively erased. It's pretty obvious. So, all the paws are pressed down. So it's on this side where she is. They're all green, damn it. Yes, and there are green ones too. We need to rewind, it will be shorter someday. Let's add vitamins here. Damn, it's okay to erase like that, if you think about it. Add vitamins. I have heard that Chinese boards are being erased intensively in this way. But here's the trouble, I couldn't unscrew a few bolts, so here's such a mess. 2 bolts are more accurate. One of them unscrewed it for 3 hours at all. Isn't there a Chinese fee here? Although the bolts seemed to be original, it doesn't launch anything. Anyway, okay. Lubricate, remove the intake, try to make an absorber. I have one idea. So, we're checking. Do vitamins affect for the worse? Although these vitamins should be. How hard it is to get turned on. Let's go watch. No, it's unlikely, everything will be fine. We pack it back, put everything on the sealant, because there have been no factory fasteners here for a long time. Yes, it's fine. About the absorber. This part was broken off here. And in a set with all sorts of fasteners, there was a T for the washer nozzles. Roughly speaking, we are now clogging one channel with sealant. Here, we plant it on a sealant, and somehow splice this hose here, if you can call it that, which most likely goes from the tank or into the tank. Here. Such is the thought. It will also be necessary to add vitamins to the flap that comes from the motor. In principle, the issue is solvable. You just need to figure out how to fuse this part here, and where does it even start from. Easy. And we have some oil in the intake again along the way, or it's left over from the last time. In any case, I'm going to unscrew it, spray it into the flap, spray it. However, it needs to be done with the engine running, on a warmed-up one. I just don't know how he will behave without all this constructive stuff. Because we have a rest here. So far, the filter is not fucked up, by the way. It's a small thing. We'll pour it out now. Here. This is the situation with the absorber. This is such a wonderful system we have come out with. Everything on the sealant is natural. It remains only to connect the tubes. It's not a problem. About the flap. In fact, we have a clean one. So the oil that is here is still from the previous time left. It was not possible to wash it completely. Well, here it seems to be kind of dry. This is crankcase gas ventilation, and it does not break through as before. But in any case, since I'm already here, I'll check all the pipes for vacuum tightness. And at the same time, let's see how the fuel hose is doing there. Because the last time, he gave me an unpleasant feeling that the fuel was being driven almost to the collector, if not to the collector itself. In general, it looks like this. The system is hermetic from the word sealant. I cleaned the throttle a little, not that it was dirty, but there was some black mass there. I know that you will say that it will all go into the intake, but these motors, I think they digest and not like that. Moreover, this engine digested and not like that, believe me. Judging by its operation, there will definitely be no fuel pouring now. I checked the vacuum tubes, everything is in order. They're really torn. It should be replaced. Yeah, whatever. Let it be so for now. Because I don't see any other option here. We put everything back, run, check. It is necessary to lubricate the so-called shovel, it is also a damper. Does it work at all? Question. Maybe it doesn't work. Well, my thing is, like, to return everything as it was and hope that it all worked. But we have a big problem with the fact that somewhere there is a minus on the mass or wires are being closed somewhere at all, because the temperature outside shows minus 35, 32. And this means that there are big jams in the wiring somewhere. The rear taillights do not work, and the reverse gear does not work. Stopped working. The backlight of the rooms has stopped working. Apparently, it's all interconnected somewhere. But where is it? What lies on what? I'm afraid it's all lying here somewhere. Somewhere in this spit. Retard. Yes, it shouldn't be. Damn, well, I don't really want to climb there at all. Okay, we collect it, then we'll see. It's just getting dark, and it's raining. Twice such a thing. The order is complete. So, I threw everything on. I did everything. Let's leave the point alone for now. Damn, podkapotny chernozem. Let's see what happens. So, nothing will fall off if you start. Yeah. Yeah. Starter. Almost. Here it is. 3 candles were flooded with this shit from the descent. It's fine, he's going to get angry now. It's a 2E motor. What will happen to him? Beauty? So, we need to see if the cable has fallen off. Damn, the cable came off. There you see it standing crookedly. Such a misfortune, yes, it happens. On this flap. And as on MK3, the same story. Because of this, we may have stupidly increased revs. Mud, it will be necessary to fill it with rubble. Increased speed. Well, there's dirt, of course. The sealant is my runny nose. Okay, one more time. I'll have to buy another camera. That the wind will be there. That's it. Great. The best day. It's not rattling. The best day, if only because I put a loop. But we need to deal with the light now. I think it's the same as reversing that. It's hardly here, is it? That reverse gear, that backlight, it should be the same thing. Damn, I don't want to climb under the hood with wires. Yes, it would hardly help. But on the other hand, it can be. Yes, by the way, you will need to rewire the connector. No, you have to climb there first. If it doesn't help, then under the hood. But in general, everything is over for today. All the work. I'm very happy, but this is just divine. Beauty? A bun. There are not so many planting jobs left. No. I don't know, it's probably not related to this. Not so many jobs. About everything later. Of course, if I don't do it myself, not with my own hands, because I just don't have any tools. There are, let's say, physical impossibilities to do it. If I do, I'll tell you. If not, I won't tell you. The final is coming soon. Let's discuss the numbers, resources, and costs. Everything connected with it. You need to buy new ones for the nipple, at least 2 front ones. Yes, all 4 need to be changed, because somehow it seems to me that they are poisoning anyway. The wheel leads. The car leads a little to the right side. Then I'll stop by the tire and the tire at the gas station. I'll look at the pressure in the wheels. If this is the case, then we definitely change nibble. If not, then I'm just going crazy. But the caliper on the front right wheel still bites. You need to change the guides and relubricate everything. I really don't want to do this, honestly. Here. And that's it for today. We rest further.